gender-based violence, which is a very pertinent and why not a very issue, a very tackling challenging issue in the society, which is looked at minimally. We have gender-based activists here in the person of Lena Leslie, a 17-year-old Cameroonian youth who has been into this activism for over a period of time. Lena, permit me ask, what do you think is the biggest challenge facing girls and young women in Cameroon today, in Boya, in Cameroon, in our communities? What do you think are some of these challenges that young women or women and girls face that needs to be addressed?
The biggest challenges that women or young girls face in Cameroon is limited opportunity, especially in the areas of education, employment, and safe environment. Many girls face sexual-based violence and pressure to enroll that limit their potentials, and so these challenges can stop them or discourage them from getting to where they really want to. And you also have situations where women are being abused, they are being talked down on, especially in rural areas. They are not given the opportunity to go to school. They make them believe that no, education is not meant for them, rather go into marriage. And so most girls now involved or get married at a very tender age, which that's not how things are supposed to be done. And so those are challenges. It limits them from being what they want to. Ladies have dreams. Some want to grow and build impact, and so it kills their potentials. And so I am saying that those are the challenges that women face, and I hope that one day
these challenges will be addressed as an activist. I want to you, Simon. I just see you nodding and saying, what are some of these challenges you think young girls face? Or probably gender is not even about girls. Let us also look at the male gender. What are some of the challenges your gender face, which is really alarming and it needs to be looked at? Gender, when we talk of gender-based violence, then do we only talk about the female sex, if I may ask?
No, the men are included.
Okay, so Simon, what do you think are some of the challenges or these challenges that young men or young boys and girls and men out there face?
Okay, I'll say firstly, one of the biggest problem my gender face, it's lack of opportunity too as well. Let me say that, because presently all organizations, even the government, promotes more of women should be at the top too. So you see that now people now focus more on the women than on the men part. So us now, we are feeling bad because we are limited. Because if I'm going to a job for a job interview with her, I'm sure they are going to accept her and abandon me because she's a female.
Lena, do you tie to what he's trying to say?
No, not at all.
Because so many organizations are focused on women empowerment, not men empowerment. So the men that now we have not gone to a certain level, how are we going now to be empowered? Yes, that's one of the challenges my gender is facing, and I'm just seeing how the thing is going.
So Simon, what you're trying to say is calls shouldn't be made only for the female gender. Male calls should be. Lena, do you tackle some of these male issues? I don't know, you talk of women here, and Simon on his part is saying that the men are marginalized when it comes to this aspect of activism and gender-based violence. I don't know if you really tie to what he says, or he's actually you're actually countering it.
It's contradicts what I'm saying. Based on what they say, I don't see that happening in Cameroon. Yeah, I don't see that happening in Cameroon. Because if you look at, let's talk about the political state, the political state, majority are the men. You go to most organizations, majority are the men.
You go to the General Assembly,
majority are the men. They think women are vulnerable.
Okay, Simon, we want us to support that for another day. Let us really focus on why we are here. That is level 10, the ground to debate ground, but that would be a topic for another day if you want to Royal TV. Lena, permit me ask, What is that one thing? How do you engage boys and men into conversations about gender equality? We talk of gender equality. We talk of men being marginalized. Like what our man here in the studio is trying to say. What is that thing, or how do you balance an engagement or the conversation where you have to talk to both the boys and the men about gender-based violence? For example, we are talking about gender-based violence today on You Connect, and we have Simon here, both Simon, who is saying the men are marginalized. I don't know. What do you think about this?
Okay, what I do is I include them in the conversation instead of blaming them.
That's true.
I'm a student and I'm in lower science, so often we have free period.
Okay.
And so sometimes I take advantage of my free period.
That's cool.
I gather the boys in our class and I try to ask them questions. Like I'm doing my own personal research. So the one time I asked them a question that about sexual based violence against women, and then one guy was like, but women too harassed men. I was like, no, I don't think so. But they also try proving their own point. So I help them to understand that gender equality benefits everyone. And so if men or boys are also educated and involved, changes will be faster. So I discuss with them, we talk, and then we try to put things together. I explain my own part, they explain their own
make
part.
them know they are equally included in
That's
the
it.
journey of in the fight of gender-based violence. So how do you balance activism with your school or your personal life? How do you manage to be an activist talking about gender-based violence, striving for women, striving for men equally? Let me not make our money in the studio feel less. Equally being the voice of the voiceless. How do you manage this with education, the lower science students, and equally being at such tender age? How do you manage being an activist and at the same time you're a student?
Well, I must say it's not easy at all, but because I'm passionate about it, what I do is I plan my time very well and I prioritize what matters. School comes first, but I also create space to advocate because it's part of my purpose.
Definitely.
Yes, I make sure I take enough rest so that I don't get overwhelmed. I schedule my time and from 6 to 3 o'clock I'm in school, and maybe during, because I have like in a day I have like 3 or 4 free period, I can be doing some write-up, coming out with ideas, or sometimes I just gather my ladies and I talk to them, I advise them, I encourage them, or maybe the boys. And in the house, my community, I sometimes gather young ladies, little children, girls, and I talk to them, I encourage them, I tell them.
How often do you do that?
Once in the morning, or yes. Then so I also have younger sisters, and so I educate them, and so that's how I do it. I plan. What I do most is I plan, and I avoid unnecessary things because I know I have somewhere that I'm getting to.
So what is that one thing you like to see, Lena Leslie? You are into the fight for gender-based violence. You are the voice of the women. Today on You Connect, we are talking about breaking the silence, tackling the issue of gender-based violence. What is that one thing you would like to see being changed in your community when it comes to the aspect of gender-based violence? What is that one thing you would like to see being changed in your community as you continue your fight for gender-based violence?
Well, one thing I would like to see, I will appreciate, and I will feel fulfilled in my community is where girls feel safe. They are being given the opportunity to express themselves without no fear or limitation. Even in the rural areas where girls are given opportunities to get educated, women are paid the way they were supposed to pay due to their labor, where discrimination is no longer allowed, where the voice of girls are being heard, where women are open to many and different opportunities. That's what I really wished. That's what I want to see in my community, in fact in Cameroon in general.
Okay, so we are on You Connect Viewers of Royal TV, where we have been covering pertinent or very important issues about gender-based violence from our activists here in the studio. Lena Leslie, a 17-year-old student from Mutengene, and she has to us about gender-based violence, strides on how she has this issue. Youths are not just connecting, but they are connecting across Africa. They are connecting on gender issues, and they equally connecting on very sensitive issues. Let me ask this, Lena. What how can I put it? How do you manage to stay safe with such being an activist for such should I say very sensitive issue in today's society? How do you manage to stay safe without being blashed, without being arrested, without fear of being lashed or whatever? How do you, for example, you meet a woman who has been marginalized or battered mentally, physically, or whatever, and you want to, are you not scared? Are you not really, don't you have a pride in you? Probably, what would this husband, what would they say at your age? You're fighting for women, you're fighting for the voiceless. What are some of the things you do, or how do you manage to stay safe while you're doing this?
Well, I stay aware of my environment. I work with trusted people, and I avoid putting myself into risky situation. And also, I meet up with people that are of high caliber, and I try to build a small friendship with them, so that when I meet cases like this, I will not be afraid to talk. At least, even if I can't handle them, I can get to them and we talk out things and see how we can help somebody. Advocacy is important, but safety always matters. And so about that, I really take time, and it do matters too, because there are some situations that maybe you don't even need to.
Very sensitive.
Yeah, there's something happened in school one time. I saw a guy harassing.
I was really coming to that. I wanted to say, what challenging issue have you ever faced?
Yeah.
And how did you tackle it in this aspect of gender?
I saw a guy harassing. A girl. He was pulling the girl's skirt up. Then I was marveled. I was angry. I stood at the door. I stayed for I think 5 minutes. So when I walked up to them, I was like, "What are you doing? Don't you have no shame?" I don't know if the girl was that scared of the boy. Then she was like, "No, don't shout," and stuff like that. So I had to take the case to the principal. And so, but before I talked to the girl, like, don't be scared. He can't do anything. No matter how he has threatened you, there are people that are willing to help you. And so I reported the case to the principal, and the girl, she explained everything to the principal, and that was how she got saved. And so the guy was called, and he was given some punishment and discipline too.
That is a very, very, very pertinent. That was a very, very nice act there you did. Simon, I see you nodding. You might want to say something. It's like you really have something to add.
Me for one, I like seeing women at the top. Yes, because I myself, I've joined her in this hard stuff she's doing, because my mother was really maltreated.
Okay.
Yes, so she always tell us that men suppresses her in everything she's doing. So before she died, I promised myself that I'm going to see women grow at the top myself. I want to watch them. So in any way I can do to support a woman, I'll try to see her.
Definitely, Simon. Viewers of Royal TV, we have been talking to you about gender-based violence. We have been talking to you about not silencing your voices, speaking up if you are going through gender-based violence. We have a fine gender activist here in the studio, a very nice one, in the person of Lena Leslie, a 17-year-old who has been talking to us about gender-based violence. Let us take a quick break, and when we come back, we continue with the topic. And why not packing our bags and giving you more tips on how to counter this societal phenomenon.
Hey, Royal TV viewers, your voice matters, and now we want to hear it louder than ever. We've created a special WhatsApp feedback group just for you. Got opinions about our shows? Suggestions to make Royal TV better? Compliments, complaints, or hot takes? This is your direct line to us. Joining is easy. Simply scan the QR code on your screen right now, and you're instantly connected to the Royal TV community. Be part of the conversation. influence our programs, help shape the future of your favorite TV station. Don't just watch, interact, engage, be heard. Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality.
Welcome back, viewers of Royal TV. Welcome back to the program Youth Connect. Yes, we have been connecting you on the aspect of gender-based violence, where we have been tackling this very issue in today's society by our fine activists here in the studio, and the person of Lena Leslie. Lena, permit me to ask, what's your role model in this activism journey? We have activists, being a young gender activist. I think you should have probably other activists or persons who are fighting for the voiceless out there who inspire you. Who are some of those persons, and why do they inspire you?
Pinning I have 3 of them. Okay, firstly is Mr. Simon, right here next to us.
Okay,
he is my mentor. He consistently inspire and stand up for girls, and so that inspire me to do same.
Okay, so on the international front or national front, do you have any other person who inspires you?
Not yet. I don't really know their names.
So personally, as at now, that's fine. So permit me, we're here. You've been talking about gender issue, gender-based violence, pertinent issue that has been affecting women. What do you have to say to youths out there watching you, or to young girls, and why not parents, and why not women out there who have been watching you on Youth Connect talk about your activism journey, and how the voiceless should speak, and how you've been talking for the voiceless, and how if you are going through a gender issue, you should speak up and not stay quiet. What do you have to say to youths, and why not parents out there?
Well, I'll begin from the girls. I want to let them know that everybody has a voice. Everyone has a voice, and everyone should stand up. We are all beautiful. We have purpose in us that we have to let them out. And so no one should talk you down. No one should make you feel less of who you are. And for the young boys or the young men out there, I will encourage them to stay focused, being educated. They should not, because I realize that most men now, in fact young boys, are always in the haste to make money. I don't know why, and so they tend to use the wrong direction. They just go the wrong way. Why not instead focus in your education and maybe learn up something that will help you? And for the parents, I would like to tell them that please take good care of your child. Be aware of the dress they wear when going out, especially for the girls. The time to go out, when they come back, where they go to their association. Take care of your children, advise them. Parents, I think the higher responsibility is from our parents. And so sometimes some children get into sexual-based violence and they are scared to tell their parents because maybe they are too wild, too strict. Sometimes you just have to calm down. At times we just need to be heard. Just give us time to talk and create time. Don't over focus on work. Yes, I know you're working so we can go to school, we can get clothed, but please also create time for us because it's memory. We need it. Thank you so much.
Over to you, Simon. What do you have for youth out there? What last one before leaving the studios?
Okay, just going to tell the youth that the future lies in our hands.
Yeah.
Everything we are doing today is either going to affect our tomorrow positively or negatively. So if we are promoting sexual-based violence or gender-based violence positively, we affect our community and our society positively tomorrow. But if we choose the negative aspect, that's when we will have the negative result. No woman should be beaten up, because I've seen cases online where girls are beaten up, women are being maltreated, even killed. This must not happen again in our society, in our communities. Give girls, give women the chance to speak to grow, to innovate? Why not being engineers, the ones constructing the roads? Why are they not the ones building houses? All these things we want to see women do in our society. We should promote such activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon. And to you, Lena, what big next project do you have in mind that viewers of Royal TV, viewers of Africa, well, you know, we are the new vision of Africa. We connect you to all over the world. What big vision is next for your activism journey? What project at hand? What project do you have at hand that you might want to let out of the bag now beforehand?
Okay. Well, this one is going to be like the second, because the first one had held where I had the opportunity to talk about sexual-based violence against women, and I also spoke on drug abuse. And so the second one will be just for ladies, just for girls. The first one was for both the gender. Okay. But this one is going to be a program where we get to tell girls who they are. Not just who they are, but who they are also in Christ, to train them to believe in themselves, to let them know that they have something in them that the world have to see. And so that will be our next project. And hopefully I would like it to also be displayed on the Youth Connect TV.
Thank you very much. Definitely, Lena, we will look into that. Viewers of Royal TV, we are sorry to tell you we have come to the end of this very interesting program, where today on Youth Connect we had a very fine lady in the person of Lena Leslie, a gender-based activist, and equally we had an eco-activist in the person of Ebot Ja Simon, who has been here to serve the topic where we talk of how gender-based violence can be addressed, what are some pertinent issues, how can it be discussed between men and women, how can the voiceless speak up in case of being gender-based, being violated. We equally talk of how to share your story to someone if you are in a very tight position. We are sorry to say we are packing our bags out of the studios of Royal TV, but do not touch it that, because interesting and wind up very interesting programs come up on the TV. We are saying bye bye for today, but next week catch us same time, same station. Bye bye. And the program has been the supervision of Mr. David Titango. Bye bye. See you tomorrow.
Scan the code and join the Royal TV WhatsApp group now. When we dream alone, it is only a dream. But when many dream together, it is the beginning of a new reality.